If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. When the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round of the NFL Draft, it ignited a firestorm of excitement across football circles. Fans remembered the dazzling numbers he put up in his final college season: 37 touchdown passes, a staggering 74% completion rate, and poised well beyond his years. His days at Colorado were electric, filled with highlight reel plays and media buzz that rarely died down. So, when Shedeur landed in Cleveland, a franchise long starved for consistent quarterback play, it didn't take much for fans and analysts alike to start dreaming. Training camp clips started circulating, tweets, blogs, and YouTube reactions poured in, all painting the same picture: this kid could be the one. But in the haze of excitement, reality started to fade, and now, former NFL head coach Eric Mangini is here to clear that mist, offering a sobering reminder that Sanders' journey is only just beginning and the road ahead is far more rugged than fans may want to admit. Mangini's recent appearance on The Herd pulled back the curtain on what's really happening behind the scenes in Cleveland. According to the former Jets and Browns head coach, the impressive numbers Sanders is posting in off-season workouts should be taken with a gigantic grain of salt. That's not a throwaway comment, it's a red flag for those caught up in the hype. Mangini noted that every single one of Sanders' reps so far has come against the back end guys, players who are fighting for a spot on the roster, not season starters. These aren't the Myles Garretts or Denzel Wards of the Browns defense. These are the bubble guys, the practice squad hopefuls, the ones still learning the NFL ropes themselves. Of course Sanders is shining, he should be, but that doesn't mean he's ready for the real thing just yet. This is the classic offseason trap. Every June and July, fans want to believe their rookie quarterback is the next breakout star. They see clips of perfect spirals in shorts and helmets, maybe a 7-on-7 drill or two, and the optimism swells. Sanders, because of his pedigree and the media attention that's followed him since high school, is even more susceptible to that kind of premature coronation. The Browns haven't had a quarterback throw for 30 touchdowns in a season since the Reagan administration. And now here comes a charismatic young gunslinger with a famous last name and a cannon for an arm. It's a perfect storm of hope and narrative, but Mangini's perspective throws a wet blanket on the parade. And maybe that's exactly what this situation needs right now. Let's not forget, Shedeur Sanders is only 23 years old. He hasn't taken a snap in a real NFL game. He hasn't felt the pressure of a collapsing pocket under live fire. He hasn't had a Micah Parsons breathing down his neck on 3rd and 12. Yet many already talk about him as if he's QB1 in Cleveland, ready to usurp Deshaun Watson or anyone else who might stand in his way. That's not fair to Sanders, and it's not grounded in football reality. His college production was elite, yes, but the leap from CA Saturdays to NFL Sundays is monumental. It humbles most. Even first-rounders struggle. Just ask Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, and they weren't facing third-string defenders in the preseason. The NFL doesn't care about hype. It cares about execution, poise, and progress under pressure. Mangini's critique isn't a knock on Sanders, it's a call for perspective. There's a big difference between dominating in OTA letters and leading a 2-minute drill against an elite defense in December. The rookie hasn't even faced the Browns' starting defense yet in practice, let alone another team's first stringers. That's why Mangini emphasizes patience. He knows what it takes to develop a quarterback in this league, and he's seen promising prospects flame out before they ever got a real shot, mainly because the noise around them drowned out the real work that needed to happen. Sanders is in the infant stages of his NFL development. The arm talent is there, the leadership qualities are there, but right now, he's just running through warm-up laps, not racing against elite competition. The Browns would be wise to protect Sanders from the noise. That means managing reps, setting realistic goals, and keeping him grounded throughout this process. The last thing Cleveland needs is another quarterback controversy or media circus. They've had too many of those already. Sanders has all the tools to grow into a special player, but it has to happen on the right timeline. Thrusting him into a starting role too early could stunt that development. The Browns already have a high-priced starter in Deshaun Watson, whether fans like it or not, and Shedeur should be allowed to develop in the shadows for now. That's how great quarterbacks are built, with patience, with structure, and without unnecessary pressure to become a franchise savior overnight. From a media standpoint, it's easy to see why Sanders draws so much attention. He's charismatic, well-spoken, and grew up around the game thanks to his father, NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. That background gives him an aura few rookies possess. But that same spotlight can become a double-edged sword. Every incompletion will be magnified. Every interception will trend on social media. If he plays too early and struggles, the backlash will be swift and unforgiving. Mangini's comments serve as a preemptive shield against that kind of scrutiny. He's not doubting Sanders' ability, he's challenging the narrative, and in doing so, he's giving the rookie the space to grow, rather than burdening him with expectations he hasn't yet earned. What's next for Sanders? Likely more of the same, working with the 2s and 3s, learning the playbook, adjusting to the speed of the NFL, and that's exactly what should happen. Browns fans may not want to hear it, but the most important thing for Shedeur right now isn't proving he's a starter, it's mastering the details. Footwork, timing, pre-snap reads, adjusting protections, those are the building blocks of a successful NFL quarterback. If he can stack good days, learn from mistakes, and soak up everything he can from veterans around him, then maybe one day he'll be ready to take the reins. But that day isn't today, and it probably isn't tomorrow either. Mangini's message is refreshing because it cuts through the usual off-season fluff. He's not here for fairy tales, he's here for football truths. And the truth is, Shedeur Sanders has potential, immense potential, but potential means nothing without growth, without adversity, and without the grind that turns raw talent into reliable production. Browns fans have every right to be hopeful, but that hope should be measured. Let Sanders develop. Let the story write itself on the field, not in the headlines. Because if he truly has what it takes, no amount of cautious analysis will stop his rise. But if we rush it, if we let the hype train take control, then the story could end before it even begins. In the end, this is the NFL. Nothing is guaranteed. Not draft status, not stats from college, not even glowing reviews from off-season workouts. Every quarterback has to earn it. Every play counts. Every rep matters. Shedeur Sanders has a long road ahead, and how he handles this next phase, this grind of learning, adjusting, and evolving will determine whether he becomes just another name in Cleveland's long list of QB experiments or the one who finally changes the narrative. For now, the spotlight should dim a bit. Let the kid breathe. Let the work speak. And maybe, just maybe one day, that fog surrounding his name will lift, revealing not a hyped-up prospect, but a true NFL quarterback ready to lead the Browns into a new era. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. What if I told you that the Cleveland Browns might be cooking up the boldest offseason in their franchise's modern history? Yes, that same franchise known for heartbreak, for resets, for the maybe next year mantra, but now swirling in the shadows of NFL insiders and locker room whispers. There's chatter loud enough to make fans lean in, but quiet enough to stay off official reports. The rumor mill is spinning, and the names at the center of this potential storm are nothing short of game-changing. Kirk Cousins, Terry McLaurin, and the unexpected exit of Darnell Gabriel. We're talking about the kind of moves that don't just shuffle the roster. They redefine the identity of a team. Could Cleveland finally be preparing to seize its moment on the biggest stage? If the smoke turns to fire, we could be witnessing the start of something historic. Let's start with Kirk Cousins. Whispers have been growing louder that Cousins, now a seasoned and respected NFL veteran, is seriously considering a leap to Cleveland. After years in Minnesota, where he cemented his reputation as a steady, efficient passer with flashes of brilliance, Cousins could be the perfect answer to Cleveland's long-standing quarterback carousel. Sources close to the situation suggest preliminary conversations may have already occurred, nothing binding, but enough to raise eyebrows. Imagine Cousins stepping onto the field in First Energy Stadium, a veteran with playoff experience leading one of the league's most underrated rosters. His ability to stretch the field, read defenses, and control tempo could be the missing piece to elevate the Browns from good to great. And let's not ignore the domino effect. If Cousins is coming, others might follow. Enter Terry McLaurin. Word is, McLaurin has grown increasingly frustrated with the instability in Washington. Though he's remained a consummate professional, the Commanders' ongoing rebuild and quarterback uncertainty are reportedly testing his patience. And now, insiders hint that Cleveland has become a real option for the wide receiver, a place where he could team up with a reliable quarterback, play for a team poised to compete, and finally get the national recognition his talent deserves. A potential Cousins-McLaurin reunion? That's not just fan fiction, it's a pairing that worked in the past and could thrive again. They have chemistry, history, and an understanding that could immediately translate into production. If both end up in Cleveland, it's hard not to imagine a Browns offense suddenly looking like one of the AFC's most formidable. But what's fueling all this behind the scenes? That's where Darnell Gabriel's rumored exit comes into play. Gabriel, a key figure in the Browns' front office operations and known to be a strategic voice in player development, is reportedly on his way out. Though the move hasn't been confirmed publicly, several league insiders say it's already a done deal. And while his departure might look like a loss at first glance, it could actually be the catalyst for this entire revolution. His exit may have cleared the way for a more aggressive, bolder direction, one that prioritizes proven talent over long-term development. It's as if the Browns leadership finally decided that the window is now. Not next season, not the one after, now. And let's talk timing. With the Bengals continuing to be strong, the Ravens retooling, and the Steelers always lurking, Cleveland's urgency makes sense. The AFC North is a battlefield. The Browns have flirted with relevance, even greatness, but haven't quite broken through. The addition of stars like Cousins and McLaurin wouldn't just be about making headlines. It would be about survival in one of football's toughest divisions. Sources suggest the team sees 2025 as their make or break year. Contracts are aligning, cap space is available, and their core roster is peaking. The time to strike is now. And if they miss this chance, it could set them back another half-decade. That's not just speculation, that's the real pressure behind these rumored moves, of course. There are skeptics. Some argue that Cousins is past his prime, or that McLaurin's price tag would be too steep. Others wonder if a reshuffle this big could disrupt team chemistry. But here's the thing, sometimes you need to risk everything to change your destiny. Cleveland isn't trying to make the playoffs anymore, they want a ring. And with Deshaun Watson's situation still murky, there's room for a quarterback switch. If Cousins arrives, it's not just a change, it's a statement. And McLaurin, he's not just a receiver, he's a culture setter. The kind of player who shifts locker rooms and lifts everyone around him. If there's even a chance to bring that energy to Cleveland, you have to chase it. And what about the fans? Browns Nation is buzzing. The forums, the Reddit threads, the podcast circles, it's all lighting up with speculation. Some fans are cautiously optimistic, others are downright euphoric. After decades of disappointment, there's a hunger in Cleveland, a city that knows football pain better than most. And now, for the first time in years, there's genuine hope that something monumental is about to happen. If even 2/3 of these rumors materialize, it could set off the biggest wave of Browns jersey sales since the days of Bernie Kosar. The city is ready. The fans are ready. The question is, are the Browns front office bold enough to make it real? Behind the scenes, it's believed that head coach Kevin Stefanski has given a quiet green light to more aggressive roster maneuvers. He's reportedly been in closed-door meetings, outlining a more vertical, dynamic offense. With Cousins at the helm and McLaurin as a primary weapon, the offensive playbook could open in ways never seen before in Cleveland. Sources close to the coaching staff have said Stefanski is excited and frustrated. Excited at the possibilities, frustrated at how long it's taken to get the right personnel. He knows what this team could be, and he's pushing for the front office to act before it's too late. That kind of internal pressure can turn rumors into reality very quickly. There's also talk that this isn't just about 2025. The Browns might be laying the groundwork for a new era, one that shifts the team from reactive to proactive, from rebuilding to contending, year after year. The acquisition of veterans like Cousins and McLaurin could be the cornerstone of a larger strategy to turn Cleveland into a free agent destination. The team's facilities are top-notch. The city is football-obsessed, and the defense is already elite. All that's missing is the spark on offense. If these moves happen, that spark becomes a blaze, and Cleveland could finally take its place among the NFL's elite. At the end of the day, these are still rumors. Nothing's official. No press releases, no jersey unveilings, but something's happening in Cleveland. The puzzle pieces are shifting, and the outline of a much bigger picture is starting to appear. If the Browns do pull this off, if Cousins signs, if McLaurin follows, if Gabriel's exit truly signals a front office awakening, then we may look back on this offseason as the most important chapter in the franchise's modern history. Revolution is brewing on the shores of Lake Erie, and this time, it might just be real. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!